Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing a bear getting ready to enjoy an ice cream cone. So a bear with an ice cream cone. That's what we're going to be drawing today. He's not going to be having some honey, he's going to enjoy some ice cream. So we're going to go with our layer number one, and we're going to go to our soft brush, and we're going to bring down the size a little bit here to the left, and we're going to start sketching it out. So of course we're going to start with the eyes like we always do, and then we're going to move down the snout, top of the head of the bear with the ears. Have his one arm over here to the side, give him his big belly, because he's had quite a few ice cream cones over the years. Give a little outline to the ice cream cone. Let's go double scoop. There we go. The nose. And again, with this layer, this is layer number one, the sketch layer. We're just moving around, keeping the pen busy, and getting everything where we want it. So now we've got the basic outline of the bear. We've got the ice cream cone there with two scoops. Now we're going to go to layer number two. We're going to bring that below layer number one because that's a layer that's going to go over it. We're going to go to our pen. We're going to go to our inking and our technical pen. And we're going to go in here and we're going to start with the eyes. Now, like I've said in previous videos, Procreate's really cool because if you hold the pen to the surface after you do the circle, or half circle in this case, it makes a perfect shape. So you don't have to worry about being good at doing circles, which I am not. Here we're going to bring the nose down, the snout, give him a big smile because he's going to be excited to have this ice cream cone. We're going to have the eyes looking down at the cone. And then we're going to erase the middle part of the snout here, so it shows both the eyes, just like that. Then we're going to give him the eyebrows going up in the air because he's excited. We're going to give him his nose, and doing a bear's nose, just almost like a little triangle. You want to come off there like that. Give him a little bit of the snout with that line. Go to the erase button. Get rid of the middle line that's inside the nose because we don't want to have that line overlapping. There we go. Now we're going to go to the top of the bear's head. I'm going to give him a little top of the head there. One ear coming out one side, one ear coming out the other. We're going to give him his back and his neck, and it's going to go out the side here because it's so big it goes out of the screen. We're going to go down to the belly, give him a big belly. We're going to start his other arm here, like that. We're going to make it really wide because he's got big arms. And we're going to give him a little tooth coming out of his mouth, just showing a little bit. Maybe he needs some braces, who knows. And we're going to have a tongue coming out of the front because he's getting very excited to eat this ice cream cone. Now we're going to go up under the eyes. We're going to give a little bit of the lines under the eyes. We're going to switch to our white color, and we're going to go into the eyebrows, and we're going to highlight the eyebrows a little bit. So you got the nice black on white color there. Now we're going to go back to the black ink, and we're going to go over and draw the ice cream cone. So we said two scoops. So we're going to draw a half circle like this. We're going to hold it, let Procreate create a nice little half circle. Then we're going to do little drip motions like this because it's the top scoop and it's dripping down over the other scoop. Now we're going to go below and we're going to do another half circle like this. We're going to hold it. And then we're going to go to the bottom of that half circle and we're going to do even more dripping down there like this. Now we go to our erase button and we're going to go to the bottom of the second scoop, well, first scoop technically, and we're going to get rid of the line here so we can show that it's all part of the same ice cream. Okay. And then we're going to draw our nice cone, a V shape there, and again, if you hold it down, it makes it a perfect shape. Now we're going to have the bear holding it, so we need the bear's hand. So we're going to have one part of his paw coming there, around, 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 like that, and then like that. Now we're going to go to our erase button, and we're going to go back in and get rid of the parts of the cone that are being covered by his fingers, as we're doing right now. There we go, almost done. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to go back to our layer number one, and we are going to hit the erase button, and we're going to get rid of all the different sketchy lines that we added in here before, just to clean it up. There we go. Now we're going to go back into layer number 2, and we're going to go to our technical pen, and we're just going to start to move around a little bit, add some detail that we didn't add before. Now that we've got all the different spaghetti line drawings, the sketchy lines out of the way, we can really kind of focus on what we want to add. So for me, I'm just going to go up here to the ear. I'm going to add another line on his back, another line by his mouth. I'm going to add some line shading under the front part of his arm and in behind. I'm going to give a little bit of a line shading below his tooth that is sticking out. I'm going to do a little line shading behind his ear at the top. And I'm going to do a little line shading right below both of his eyes. Just a little bit like that. Now I'm also going to go to the erase button and I'm going to get rid of the line that I just noticed from his stomach going through his tongue, which we don't want happening here. Now we're going to use a little bit of the line shade on his tongue like that. We're going to go down to the ice cream cone where we're going to add some line work here where it shows shading, as you can see, between his hand and the cone. And then we're also going to do right below the cone into his hand as well. So we've got the shading there. Now we're going to go on to the actual ice cream itself, and we're going to add a couple lines here along the side to give it some depth. We're also going to add a little bit of line shading right below the scoop, the top scoop of the ice cream, to show that there is some depth there. All right. Now we're going to give it a look over. I'm going to do a little bit of the shade here on the nose, just a little bit right there, a couple lines. And everything looks good. So now we're going to go to coloring everything in. So we're going to go to layer number 3. We're going to move that down ahead of layer number 2. We're going to go to our soft brush. It's the airbrushing one, the soft one. And we're going to start with the bear. We're going to go a nice brown. So here we go. So we're going to start to color them in. And this part is pretty freewheeling in terms of you don't have to worry about staying within the lines or anything like that because you're going to clean it up later. So start moving around, coloring everything in. Okay. Now we're going to go back into the brown and we're going to drop down a little bit and we're going to make it a little bit darker because we're going to start to do our shading. So we're going to do a little bit of shading below the eyes, and again, you just put a little bit of pressure here. You can adjust Procreate over here on the side to the left-hand side. See me moving the button up and down. That makes it more translucent, as you can see, and then when you move it up, it gets a little more thick. I just keep it on the thick layer, and I just put a little bit less pressure and more pressure depending on how dark I want the shading to be. But that's completely up to you. Do a little bit below the nose. I'm going to run the shading along his arm here, as you can see right here, because the light source is coming from the front and above. I'm also going to do right behind the arm and up onto his back, coming forward a little bit, as you can see there. I'm also going to go to his stomach down here and come up a little bit with the shading, just like that. And I'm also going to put some right in the corner of his mouth, below his tooth, and a little bit below the tongue. Now I'm going to go to his hand holding the ice cream cone, and I'm going to do some shading coming up from the bottom, moving my way outward from the cone towards his hand. Now we're going to go up to the white layer, and this is where we're going to do the light hitting the bear. So we're going to go to the top of his nose, and we're just going to start to do a really light line moving in right there. We're going to go to the top of his ear, then we're going to move along the top of his head, just like this. And again, you're just putting a little bit of pressure where the light would be hitting. Now you're going to make it a little bit bigger, and you're going to hit the top part of his nose right here. You're going to hit just above his eyes up here. Then you're going to go down to his hand holding the ice cream cone and do a little bit on each one of his thumb fingers, showing the lights hitting there. And then you're going to go on the front part of his stomach, work your way down, and then the front part of his arm right there, and add a little bit right down by his hand. So these are all really just light strokes you're adding here. Now you're going to take your eraser and you're going to work your way around getting rid of these lines, getting rid of the coloring. So here we go here, just move yourself around. Sometimes you can wait till the end to do this, but I like to do it now, just the fact that we're going to use different layers to color the tongue and the nose. So it's good to clean it up now so that can be done. So just keep moving around with your eraser. Get rid of all this extra color outside the lines that we don't want. There we go. And we keep moving away around his head, around the top part of his ear. And it creates that nice outline between the color and the non-color. Now we're down by his hand. We're going to get rid of this down here. We're going to move in between the cone, because the cone's going to be a lighter color brown, which we're going to do in a minute. So erase this. We're almost there. All right, and there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to layer number 4. We're going to drop that down, and we're going to color our ice cream cone in. So we're going to use a little bit lighter brown. We're going to use the soft brush still, but because we're one layer above 3, layer 4, we don't have to worry about staying and coloring over anything else on the bear because it's a different layer. So there's the cone. We're going to drop down a little bit more and give us some shade in the cone, because again, you want to use the same color, just drop it down a little bit so there's a little bit of a color difference, but you have the same base. Then we're going to erase where we went outside the lines on the actual ice cream. Now, my favorite, not that you need to know, but my favorite kind of ice cream is chocolate ice cream. Love chocolate ice cream. Love vanilla too. Strawberry's third on my list, but there was a place growing up called the Ice Cream Machine, which used to be close to our house where I grew up, and it had the best strawberry ice cream. It was nice and thick, double scoop. It was the best. So we're going to have this beer having some strawberry ice cream. So we're going to go to layer number 5, and we're going to pick out a nice pink. There we go. And we're going to use our soft brush, and we're going to start to color this in pink. So here we go. Now we got to drop down, and we got to give the ice cream a little bit of shade, so we drop down just a little bit. Since the light source is coming from above in the front, we're going to stay to the back side and the lower part of the ice cream and give it a little bit of shade, just like that. Now we're going to turn it white, and we're going to show the light hitting it. So we're going to move our way slowly along the top of the ice cream like that, and along the sides. And then we're going to make it a little bit bigger and add a nice soft white touch right in there like that. Now we're going to stay in this layer, layer number 5, and since the nose is next to the ice cream, we're going to color the nose in now. So the nose for a bear is typically black, but I'm going to do a dark pink, just to, I think it looks a nice contrast with the brown. So we're going to work our way in here like that. Now we're going to drop this down because we want to do the shading. So bring the shading up from below and that side there. Now we're going to add a little bit of white to show the light hitting on his nose, just like that. And then we're going to add a little bit along the top so it matches the bridge of the nose. Now we're going to stay on layer number 5, and we're going to go to our red, and we're going to move it towards the center so it's kind of a darkish pink almost. And we're going to use the tongue, color in the tongue here. And here we go. Now we're going to do the shading, drop it down, go to the bottom of the tongue and work your way up a little bit like that. Then we're going to go to the white, and we're going to do a nice soft little reflection right there. It shows that. Now his tongue sticking out is obviously showing he's excited, so we want to add a little bit of drool here. So we're going to go to layer number 4, which was the cone. Now layer number 4 will go over layer number 3, which is the bear's color, so this is a good one to use. We're going to go to our blue, we're going to go to our ink and our technical pen, and we're going to start to have some drool running down his tongue, just like this, and like that. Now we're going to go to layer number 3, and we're going to have that drool continue to come down, just like this. So it's dripping down because he's very excited to have this ice cream cone. Now, we're going to go to layer number 5, and we're going to go to our blue. We're going to go gray, just a light gray. We're going to go to our airbrush, or soft brush, and we're going to do a little bit of shading right below his eyebrows, that we show the eyebrows have some depth to them. Now we're also going to go to the bottom of the eye and do a little bit of shading down there because there is depth to the bottom of the eye. Now we've got to color in the tooth down there that's sticking out. We're going to do white, so we're going to go layer number 3. We're going to go all the way up to white. We're still on our soft brush. We're going to make it smaller, and we're going to color in the tooth, just like that. Now we're going to go back and look everything over. So I see by the ice cream cone on layer number 5, I need to erase a little bit of the pink down here because I colored outside the lines and I didn't get rid of the color there. So now that I'm doing that. All right, so we look it over one more time and we see that we've got the ice cream cone, double scoop, strawberry flavor. He's holding it. He's looking very excited. His eyes are wide. The little pupils of the eyes are small, showing the excitement. He's got the tongue sticking out with the drool. And he looks really, really ready to go to eat this thing. So I think we should probably let him eat. Thanks for showing up today for the video. And if you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And see you in the next video.